The fact that we weren't successful there, and it's awfully disappointing. In the fact that we didn't win the football game. The tough part about it was we had all these opportunities, and we had receivers running wide open. We had plays we just couldn't seem to make. We missed field goals. We missed PATs. We fumbled the ball. We turned the football over. Even at the half, after we had gotten back ahead, and I was surprised. I was pleased with the fact that we had gotten that last score right before the half to go up 20-14. I was a little bit disappointed in the fact that we had just missed the extra point, and then we come back out the second half and drive down the field, and it was one of those days where if it could go wrong, it did go wrong. We didn't convert, had a penalty, some of that kind of stuff. We going back to not really being very poised, in some of our movements and operational aspects. So we're back to the drawing board this week. It hurts, but that's done and gone now. The good thing about having these press coming on Tuesday is hopefully I've gotten all that out. We practiced again, and we practiced pretty good this morning. So we'll be back on the straight and narrow now to try to get out the A&T.
What do you really, I guess, write that up to as far as just the youth or inexperience or what?
Youth and inexperience definitely plays a part, but I lack a poise, and that's my fault. I just think we just got to play better, and we played both quarterbacks. Both of them had their moments and had their lack of moments. Caleb threw a couple of touchdown balls. He threw a pick. The pick was big, and that we had just gotten the football back, and LA made some nice runs. He had a fumble, fumble was big, that kind of stuff. It was offensively, defensively, we didn't play quite as well as I had expected, and we missed some guys. We defensive end wise, both Cravens and Newell were gimpy at best, and Cravens didn't play at all and got hurt right at the end of the Delaware State game. And Newell played, but he wasn't his usual self, and we tried to mix some patches up to make it fit, but obviously we weren't quite good enough on defense either. So they scored 28 points on us and drove the football. We had some big third down conversions that I really didn't think they could do to us. And so when you score, we scored 26 points. Generally, when you score that many, when a South Carolina State offense scores that many points, then you kind of feel like that's kind of enough. But at the same time, we could have scored plenty more and just didn't get it done. And I would like to think that we could play better on defense. I know we can play better on defense. We didn't play very good that team, so we're not satisfied. In the kicking game, we probably created enough there to, kind of give us an edge that way. We put enough pressure on that punt game that, he had 2 drops. We punted him one time, and the return guy dropped the ball, and we got field position one time on the kickoff return on our kickoff team. So we created, even though we missed the 2 kicks, the field goal and the PAT, we created enough out of the special teams game in other areas to kind of make up for that. So, I'm back to we just weren't quite good enough. For the first time this year, especially at the conference game, I thought Hampton won it more than we did. And that ain't good. I thought they outplayed us. I thought they played harder than we did at times. And that's probably the one point in the whole scheme of things that might be the most disappointing of the whole deal. So we're on about trying to see if we can fix that. The problem we got now is that we got banged up pretty good. One of the big issues we had in that game was the fact that we got some guys hurt. And, we had started to really try to build some things around D'Angelo Frazier, and he's gotten banged up a little bit at tight end. He played, in the first series he had 2 catches, and on the second catch he got hurt a little bit. was out for the rest of the game, so he didn't play again. Bishop Ford's banged up a little bit. We're trying to see if we can get him back healthy, but it doesn't look good. And you know, we still continue to try to nurse a full group of defensive guys back. So, you know, we got our issues that way, depth-wise at this point, and we got A&T. You know, you put those two ingredients, you put those two trains together going opposite direction, you know, I don't know if that's an equal match right now. So we got our work cut out for it.
What do you think as far as assessing the defense? Was it they were a step off, or they were put in bad situations a lot of times?
Well, I thought they were a step off. I didn't think they played quite as good as they usually do. And, you know, I thought Hampton had a good plan against us too. I thought they did a nice job of scheming, you know, our defense too. So I thought it might have been a combination of the fact that we weren't quite full speed, and they had a good plan.
So I guess that doesn't make it tough with these back-to-back games and big challenges.
We got to know.
Yeah.
You know, it's at that. Well, this is game, what are we, 3 and 4 now? So this is game 8. It's our seventh road game right now. And you know, it gets old, but at the same time, you know, the process of it all, you know, is one that we can't say that we hadn't been used to. We've done it enough now where, you know, we gotta understand how we do it. The best part about it all is that, you know, is we do get a chance to get there in time, get a little rest, and try to get ourselves acclimated and get ready to go. We're sequestered of sorts where you don't necessarily have to worry about some of the outside influences that you do maybe when we play at home. I don't really mind playing on the road that much. I don't think our team does. I think that's, you know, that's not necessarily something that we need to, you know, try to make excuses for. We just got to play better wherever we play. And you know, the plot thickens. It'd be nice to get up here and get in the middle of this race, because if we could win out still, you know, you know, it could. There are circumstances out there that will give us a chance to share in the conference title. So we got one loss right now. You know, that's in the conference. That's all we got. So let's see if we can keep it at 1, and at that point, then we'll see how that works out then.
What have you seen on film with A&T as far as what they're like this year? They got to be a little bit different than last year, even though they're still good.
Yeah, they're a little bit different. And you know, they were trying to develop, you know, a little different kind of quarterback at the beginning of the year. They've got a kid that's a senior kid that started from the beginning. Bomero is his name. He's a big old guy who I think they thought was going to be the guy, but now the Reynard kid, the guy that played here last year most of the game, is now, I think, their main starter. He plays almost all the time for them. And he's starting to develop into a pretty good player. So you get a chance to, you know, to see them mix it up pretty good in the throw game. I think he moves around well and he throws the ball well. They've got they've got really 3 good wideouts. They've got the Denzel Keys guy, who was that big guy last year, who's a big old, tall, good-looking wide receiver that can run. They got a freshman kid, Elijah Bell, that I really think is a good player. They're going to be a good player, going to be one of the better players in this league. And, you know, he seems to be, you know, the guy outside, on the opposite side. And then the Guardian kid, you know, that the number 8 guy that they got is also good. So their receiving core is really good now. They, you know, the young guy that they had that was playing is grown up to the point where he's starting to be, you know, a real good player. And then they got, you know, and they got good tight ends too. 87, 19. I've seen both of them from time to time on both. So offensively, they really have improved some. You know, I think their big deal is how we match up with the lines, whether our young defensive front can match up with their older, experienced offensive front. Their offensive front now is getting to be, you know, experienced. The left side of the offensive line is really experienced. They played maybe 30, 40 games in a row, 30-some odd games in a row. And their center is a good player. Their right side of the offensive line is a little bit younger. They're older guys, but they hadn't been starting quite as long. They're like redshirt seniors and that kind of stuff, juniors and that kind of stuff. And those guys are, you know, in their 8th, maybe they're just kind of getting to the point where they're just getting to settle in a little bit. But the offensive front is probably matchup that, you know, is probably gonna make the biggest difference in this scheme, you know, offense versus defense, and how they play. But I think the quarterback is a good run throw guy. You know, he's shown himself to be a good athlete. You know, he's a big, tall, good looking guy who throws the ball pretty effectively. And then their receiving core, you know, Keys and Bell and all those guys, I think are really coming on and playing really well for them. And they can all run. So it's, you know, then on defense, you know, their defensive front's really been dominating. And, you know, they're an older group of guys in a way where, you know, they really give us some, they give us some issues there. The Angelo Keys guy, and I think he and Denzel might be brothers, is the defensive end that kind of, you know, is the guy that kind of just sticks out for you. Between he and Ragland's the big defensive tackle inside. You know, both those guys have started a lot of snaps together. You know, they're both seniors, and you know, they're the heart of that defense. You know, the linebackers are all, I think maybe Sockeye State looking kind of linebacker kind of guys, not overly big guys, but run really well and strike you. You know, they run to the football. Jeremy Taylor is a 6 foot, 200-pound guy. You know, who kind of reminds you some of Tyler Smith, some of those guys, kind of size guys. You know, Deion Jones is 5'11", 6 foot. You know, he's the same kind of guy. Kendrick Richardson looks like on film 52, looks like he might be, you know, big old tough, hard-nosed, Harry Carson-looking guy. You know, when you look at, and then when I look at the roster, it says that he's 6 foot, 207. You know, he looks on film like he might be a 6'2", 230 guy. So, you know, heck, I don't know, but I guarantee you, he really runs, he moves around well. So they got the ingredients there. And then last but not least, their secondary. You know, the Lockhart guy, you know, has been at CMAC forever. Number 9. The rest